Let's talk about the law of diminishing returns, and I'm partially bringing this up because this week I'm doing a lot of mass drop related items, and I feel like they kind of have this section of the audio industry down to a T. But first, I think we should start with understanding what the law of diminishing returns is and why it's important to you. So the law of diminishing returns is used to refer to the point at which the level of profits or benefits gained is less than the amount of money or energy invested. And in super simple terms, basically that means as cost goes up, the level of gain in performance goes down, depending on which industry you're talking about. And we just happen to be talking about headphones, speakers, DACs, and amps, stuff like that. And as the cost of headphones, speakers, amps, the whole setup, as that goes up, the amount of benefit you're going to be seeing is usually very, very minimal the more you spend. Now, there are obvious exceptions to this rule, and one kind of consideration that's kind of a huge factor to this whole argument, which is determining what value is. So the law of diminishing returns is going to be applicable to things that you hold value in, and determining value for everybody is going to be an impossible task for me. So I'm going to allow you to assign your own form of value. You may want the absolute totality of sound quality, and you are willing to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to get there. That may be your circumstances, or you may be a person who cares about audio, but you really don't feel like it's worth thousands of dollars, and so you want to get 90% of the way there, but you only want to spend a couple $100 or maybe less. So even though it's kind of late in the video, I think it's going to be important for me to point out that there is no conclusion to this video. This is going to be a completely personal decision. I just kind of want to bring up a topic and start a dialogue and see where each of you guys is kind of starting to see that point of diminishing returns where you're like, okay, pretty much things over $200 don't really sound that much better than a $180 headphone, or maybe it's $100 for you, maybe it's $500, maybe it's $10,000. I want to know kind of what you think. Now, for my personal experience on this, personally, I don't know. I think things start to really kind of slope down around about $300 in terms of headphones. I haven't tried enough amps or DACs to really kind of give you a solid conclusion on that, or enough speakers, but I have tried a lot of headphones. And under $300, there are so many good options. You're talking about the Sennheiser HD6 line, you're talking about M1060s, you're talking about used EL8s. Some of the Bayers are supposed to be really, really good. And on top of all that, you've got all the mass drop items, which are even less than $300, and you get this really great performance out of them. So this is gonna be something that's gonna be completely personal to everybody, and you're gonna have your own opinion on it, and I'm gonna have mine. And that's kind of the point, because these Let's Talks are supposed to be kind of like a, this is my opinion, this is my side, I wanna hear your side, you tell me your side. But with headphones, I'm speaking generally again, of course there are exceptions to all this, but there's an audible difference to me between a $300 headphone and a $700 headphone. I've heard a few of both of those price ranges, and most of the time, the more expensive headphone sounds better in more categories. It's got more resolving highs, whatever it is, any category that you could really consider, it usually has a little bit cleaner, a little bit better, a little bit more well-rounded, whatever it is. Now, obviously this goes case by case, and you can't judge a headphone that's meant for bass and mid-range versus a headphone that's meant for highs. It's not a fair comparison, but I'm hoping you get the point. So part of the reason why I think this is an interesting topic is because assigning value and worth to a headphone a lot of the times has to do with cost. So you can have a great sounding headphone, just say it's a 9 out of 10 for sound quality. It's like the second best headphone you've ever heard, but what if it's $30,000? Is it still a good headphone? Even though it costs $30,000, what if the build quality is shit? Is it worth that $30,000 investment? Odds are probably not. Or even that #1 best headphone ever, if it's $20,000, is it worth $20,000 or not really that much? And the thing with this, like I said before, is this is gonna be completely a personal decision, and your value of this situation is gonna be completely different than my value. Usually my own personal preference would be like, for a good headphone, I would pay for like $300. That's kind of the upper limit of what I would consider a good headphone. Now, an exceptional headphone, because I'm a freak, I'd pay upwards of a couple thousand. I honestly would if I had the money to put towards it, if I wasn't doing it, you know, if I wasn't spending money on other things and getting more than just one review out of that $2,000. But that's my opinion, that's my experience. Now, am I gonna think that that $2,000 is worth 6.5 times as much as a $300 headphone? Probably not. Most likely not. But I'm a guy who cares about the end result, and I care about that totality experience. That's what I chase after, and that's what I continue to thrive after. But I'd like to know what you chase after and what value means to you in terms of headphones, speakers, amps, you know, whatever you're thinking it is. And I think that's gonna wrap it up for today, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. I have a Mass Drop 6XX review coming out tomorrow. Another Let's Talk on Thursday. Actually, I might even be revealing my new amplifier on Thursday. We'll see. I don't have it yet. I'm getting it tomorrow morning. It's gonna be awesome. And then on Friday, I have a comparison between a few headphones. So if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It would really help me out, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.